Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again to the channel. It was kind of crazy at the thrift store. It was Black Friday. There was a huge clothing sale, I think half off. So not only were there a lot of loud people, but the music was cranking. I think it might have been Christmas music too. So I had to do a voiceover, but this is one of the first rows where you come in. There really wasn't that much, which isn't that huge a surprise because of the number of people in the store. I've never seen that many people there. But I figured maybe those people are looking for different things than what I'm looking for that had a big crack in it, which I was feeling with my finger, which might not be the smartest way to see if something's broken. Test it with your finger. I can never get behind these. I know. I know. It's just not my thing. I think it's because I remember when those first came out. What are they called? Willow tree? And they were so trendy. So I picked up a couple things I'm showing you. These vintage reindeer glasses, like I call them like 80s kitsch or 80s mod. I actually picked this up and thought this is worth it for like $3. And then I'm sure it technically was worth it, but I've had so much inventory that I did decide to put those 3 boxes back. I decided to bail on those to kind of cut down on the volume coming in. I'm sure you've seen other pickers do the same thing. And this is another thing I remember from the first time around, and I haven't been able to quite jump on that bandwagon. Although I'm totally into the 80s shoulder pads again, so rest assured. These were super cute. I really liked the handles. And I thought I had a set. Wait, is there a set of 4? I was looking to see if I could get a set where they were all like different or a set of 4, but there were a set of 3 soldiers, and I just got too bogged down and figured by the time I shipped them, I did look them up. I used Google Lens to see what they were worth. And I said, nope, this is going to clutter up my life. So decide not to do that. Now this piece I've never seen before. This is sort of postmodernist. I kind of call it like 80s Art Deco. It reminds me of Hager pieces that you might see from the 60s or the 80s. It had kind of a cool color, like a yellow sand color to that deer sculpture. That's a Jaru sculpture. And I guess I was showing you those again in case you hadn't seen them. As you all know, it is very hard to show you stuff when you're shopping with a lot of people around. And I was filming with my phone on this particular day. It's a little easier to film with my phone when I'm thrifting because I have a place to put the things that I want to buy or at least want to look up. At estate sales, I have to use my GoPro. I think I have a few videos. I have one coming up where I film with my phone, and it was quite a challenge. And it was because it was like a Thursday night sale. And I didn't remember to bring my GoPro. I'm in the habit of bringing it on Saturday mornings, for sure. This was so beautiful. Like, I don't know if this is Balinese. I can't remember what it said on it, but the base was broken off. They wanted $15, and there was a crack in it. And there was sort of, maybe not a matching one, but a similar one, but it did have a base. So yeah, it just wasn't going to work. That little fish was pretty cute, but a modern piece. Now this came in the cart. I was so excited about this pretty little lacquer jewelry box. I don't remember what they call that art inside it. It's like, not microscopic, but it ended up being broken. When I got to check out, the sticker wouldn't scan. And when I asked for help and the woman opened it, it like fell apart. So that was a no, sadly. This looked like that vase I found a few months back that was kind of a smoky glass that was worth quite a bit. So I picked it up and looked at it, but it was about a $30 vase. I used Google Lens on it. This guy's sticker wouldn't scan either. He's dead to me. So I really liked these jars. Honestly, should I have paid $4 each? 'Tis the season. I figured that was a good season to buy jars like that. But then I passed up this kitty cat. But again, this was a modern cat. He didn't have the little seal or ring that keeps things fresh. So like maybe if you put cat treats in it would be okay. Maybe your cat doesn't care. But I passed on that. So sometimes, can't always be consistent in my discipline and decision making. That was really beautiful, but I think that was modern. I don't even think it was vintage Pier 1. It wasn't inexpensive enough for me to use Google Lens. I like this tobacco jar, but I'm just not sure that it was old enough to be a collectible tobacco jar or new enough to be one that people would want to use. Do people use tobacco jars? Leave me a comment. Maybe they do. We live in a new time. So tobacco could be all kinds of dried substances, I suppose. I do love mugs. You see me almost stop at that Paris mug, the black one. Not a valuable piece. Kind of costly to ship. If it's for the booth, that's okay. But to ship, Okay, guys, so we had a very quick trip through the thrift store today, partially because my family members were shopping at a local store and had dropped me off, and partially because it was so crazy in there because it was Black Friday. But I did get a couple of things that made it worth the trip, and I wanted to share those with you really quickly. So I got these canisters. These are Carlton canisters with red plastic lids. I think these are probably from the 80s based on the shape. And you know, I thought this was a really cool, let me just get in a different kind of light. I thought this was a cool floral motif. They look kind of like red tulips, and then I realized it said candy. So I thought those were really cute. I think I paid $3.99 each, which seems like a lot, but if I can't resell them at my booth, I feel like I could fill them up with one of those cookie mixes or some candies for teachers or something, neighbors, and it would still be well worth it and a reusable piece, whoever I gift it to. I haven't actually looked those up. Let me know in the comments if you know how much those Carlton canisters go for, or if you've seen one that says candy in that sort of floral motif. I got this copper tray. Now, I don't buy a lot of aluminum and copper trays, but I love that this one had a pine cone motif here. I just thought that was so pretty, kind of classic mid-century look. So nice on a centerpiece, even to protect your table surface if you have a vase of flowers and you're worried that it might leak, or to put little bowls of olives and nuts and things that people might like to snack on. That was $6.99. Again, this is not something I even really looked up, but I would guess that online it could be as much as like $50, and locally it would be probably more like $25, and I paid $7 for that. I'm going to skip over to these glasses. Now, I am not familiar with this name. I believe it says CMD. These have that sort of 80s mod look. Sometimes you can like misconstrue it as mid-century. It sort of reminds me of mid-century stuff. It's a little bit kitschy, but it's got that 80s look. I actually really like this look. And there are 10 of these. They were $1 each, and I think I can sell them maybe a set of 6 and a set of 4. I feel like a set of 6 should be at least $30 locally. So that's a nice little profit. A set of 4 would be a little bit less than 30, but online I think I found a set of 6 for around $55. I'll put a screenshot in so you can see, and I might even put some screenshots in for these other pieces if I get a chance to look those up and I do successfully find some comps for you. So I saved this piece for last because it kind of has that mid-century, again, this could have been an 80s like Hager piece almost. See the lines, they're kind of like sleek, kind of smooth, a little bit like almost geometric in the face. And so I picked this up. She had literally just taken it off the cart and I snatched it off the shelf, and I did not know this name. Now, I've been doing this for quite a while and I buy a lot of mid-century pieces. Now you can see this one is 1980, but I would not have been surprised if it had been 1965 at all. And this is Jaru. Now the prices vary widely. I've seen pieces for $800, not this exact one, and I've seen pieces for like $65. So let me know if you're familiar with that name, if you've had this piece before, and I'm going to insert a couple of screenshots to show you the wide range of comps for that. So I think if I add this up, I paid $16 for the canisters. I think that they would sell for $10 each in the booth. I paid $7 for the tray. I think that would sell for $25 locally, maybe $30 in the booth. And then these glasses were $1 each. And I think I should be able to sell those for about $50 for all of them. So that's a $40 profit on those. Again, that Jaru, a little in the dark on that one, but that's part of the fun, is learning new things, learning new names, and finding out how much you paid yourself for your time. I hope you guys get out there shopping soon, maybe not on a Black Friday, might not recommend that, and that you find some great stuff. And I always hope that you never stop searching.